Hey, good evening. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Welcome to my audio version, my nighttime radio style version of me. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope that you had a wonderful past day and winding down towards the end of the week. Don't you just love ends of the week? Yeah. Everybody has a different weekend. I'll never forget, my father worked for the post office, and his weekend was Sunday and Mondays. So his weekend began Saturday night, and when everybody else was getting up to go to work, more or less, or school, he was still celebrating his weekend on Mondays. That's a perfect weekend. I don't want to get too far away from my subject. Anyway, I want to talk about small wins for you, maybe big wins for me. What do I mean by that? Well, I think we need to celebrate the small wins in our lives. Other people can't not possibly understand the magnitude of the win. Let's talk about recent wins for me. By the time that you are listening to this, I should be either dangerously close to hitting my 2,000 subs on YouTube platform. And for anybody who does YouTube, they totally relate. They totally understand that that's a big monumental thing. The first 100, these are milestones. The first 100 is huge. Then you hit the 500. Then, of course, the 1,000 was like, oh my gosh. But then when you start approaching the 2,000s, maybe the folks might start taking the channel slightly more seriously. So hopefully by the time you're listening to this, because I am recording this about a week and a half earlier than you're actually listening to this. Okay, because I like to make sure my stuff is, and we used to call this in the broadcasting days of radio, in a can and on a shelf. So just like we stockpile groceries, I have to stockpile my videos. So I want to make sure that everything is A-OK and you guys get your broadcast. So for me, hopefully by the time you're listening to this, I am at 2,000. If I'm not, I'm dangerously close to it. And that is good enough for me. And I want to thank you in advance for listening, for being there, and for sharing my video. Sharing helps. And by the way, this platform, YouTube, really appreciates it whenever you smash down the like button because it tells the algorithm, oh, yeah, I was listening and I actually liked that video. So if you do like the video, I appreciate if you take that second or two to slam down the like button. So this is an example of a real life win for me. Here's another one, okay? Lately, I have been drawing some boundary lines. What's a boundary line? Well, we know what a boundary line is more or less. It's just a line that you draw mentally in the sand or in your head of where something is just enough for you. For example, I'm not directing this at any one particular person. So if any particular person is listening to this, I don't know, mean anything directly to that person or persons, but I have to stick to boundary lines. I'm just using this as a good example. At the end of the day, I've mentioned this on previous videos, and my friends and family know this. Because I am a morning person, I'll give you my energy. I'll give you all my effort in the morning, make my videos for, next week and all this and all that. Fine. Come 4, 5 o'clock, especially 5 o'clock. I don't know what it is about 5 o'clock, but my body starts to really wind down to the point that I will actually take a half hour to lay down. That's why I like to have everything like done, organized, whatever. That way I can enjoy, my remainder of my evening and go to bed at a reasonable time. What's the boundary line? The boundary line is maybe just for a half hour. I may not want to take phone calls or I may not want to, work, even if it's housework, whatever the thing. I permit myself this boundary. I cut myself this half hour. Could be an hour. I don't know. If Mother Nature makes me sleep 40 minutes, I'm not going to put a timer in my head and say, wake up now. No. So, although we can do that, I've been known to do that too. But in other words, I've given myself permission. And as a result of that, it makes my evenings more rosier and livable than just dragging on and in denial that I need to take that little break. I'm just saying. So, boundary lines. This is very important. So for me, This may mean a small win to you listening to this, but to me, this is a big win. Okay. Next, I shaved off $20 off of a couple of recent grocery hauls. Now I know that this listening audience can really appreciate and relate to that. I don't just talk the talk, I like to walk the walk. So, what I did recently, I examined my grocery habits of the stuff that I purchased. And I said, not only are you getting a little tired of this item, if you find yourself getting tired of this item, but you keep picking it up out of habit, thinking that the world's going to come to a complete stop if you don't have that item, try an experiment to see, do you really need this item? So, with the increasing prices, and this is real life, things going on, I decided to shave off 4 items that I'm completely used to always having around. And guess what? I survived. Imagine that. And as a result, I saved $20. And this I did twice. What I did was I switched the items around. The first time that I shaved off the $20, I took 4 items out. And then the next time around, I got those 4 items again, but I swapped out 4 other items, but it still came to $20. Can you take a few minutes today, tonight, whatever, tomorrow, and examine your grocery list? Is there anything that you could possibly live without? Like I call that like fluffery groceries. Like they're like sort of like wants more than needs. Like, oh, I really want that fancier style bread. When maybe you could either do without the bread or, hey, I mean, I got through a whole week and a half without my stack of crackers. So I love those rice crackers. They're really, really good and they're low calorie, but they're a little on the pricey side. We're talking like somewhere between $4 and $5. I mean, the cheapest that I've ever seen them was like about $3.89. So I say to myself, well, maybe you could live without stacker crackers for this week. It's more also like a test to see, like a little bit of self denial once. So a little bit of self denial is actually a good thing. Okay, so another thing, I'm beginning my spring decluttering project. Yeah, yeah. Before the weather gets too hot. I don't like working in the heat, like doing certain things, working around heavy clothing or things like no. Well, it's still nice and brisk, which it is at this time of the year around here. You might have some warmish days and then you get your brisk evenings. Perfect. I love that combination. Cool mornings, cool evenings, warm midday. Beautiful. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. So, but this is the time of the year, especially, with spring, and then before you know, you 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and it's summer. So you want to like start anew. So we'll get into that on another video. But making a long story short, for me, this is a big win. For you listening, you'll say, oh, that's nice. Hey, listen, I am curious to know. Let me know in the comments section below what is considered to be a big win for you. I'll come right back with a wave. Well, you can't see my wave, but you could hear my wave. And I'll come back to say bye bye. Be right back. Have an amazing, fantastic evening, and don't forget to come back in the morning for my video version of me. Take good care now. Bye bye.